I'm Steve Johnson, News Director of theDove TV. Watch more videos from the Dove newsroom at theDove.us. Good morning, I'm Steve Johnson with a reminder to get our app on your smartphone or tablet. You can also watch the Dove on our website or on our Roku channel. In the news today, the verbal attacks were personal and political and plentiful in the 2-hour Republican presidential debate hosted by the Fox News channel. It got started with frontrunner Donald Trump refusing to rule out a third-party run or a pledge to support the party's nominee. Governor Chris Christie tangled with Senator Rand Paul over government in surveillance, and there were lots of barbs for Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton. Surgeon Ben Carson also pointed to America's need for a strengthened military.
Our friends can't trust us anymore. You know, Ukraine was a nuclear-armed state. They gave away their nuclear arms with the understanding that we would protect them. We won't even give them offensive weapons. You know, we turned our back on Israel, our ally. You know, and in a situation like that, of course, Obama's not going to be able to do anything. I would shore up our military first, because if you don't get the military right, nothing else is going to work.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and Kentucky Senator Rand Paul voiced policy differences concerning constitutional rights versus national security. Christie's a former U.S. attorney. He said he was the only person on the stage who actually filed applications under the Patriot Act. Paul said Christie fundamentally misunderstands the Bill of Rights. Secretary of State John Kerry in Vietnam wrapping up a 5-nation tour of the Middle East and Southeast Asia. Kerry arrived in Hanoi after stops in Egypt, Qatar, Singapore, and Malaysia. Kerry is encouraging Vietnam on implementation of the Pacific Rim Pact and voiced concern over China annexing islands in the South China Sea.
I reiterated America's strong support for freedom of navigation, overflight, and other lawful uses of the sea. These rights, I would remind everybody, are universal rights.
Now, despite the resumption of ties and a surge in U.S.-Vietnam trade, education, and cultural exchanges, Washington remains concerned about Vietnam's poor human rights record. U.S. officials said Kerry would be raising that issue and calling for improvements. Wildfire that started Wednesday off Interstate 84 in eastern Oregon grew to nearly 11 square miles in just a day. Interstate 84 temporarily closed between Ontario and Pendleton, and the city of Huntington was telling its residents they must be ready to leave if it got closer. Officials said early Thursday the interstate had been reopened in both directions. Meantime, the Stouts fire, which is outside Canyonville, continues to be fought with 1,400 firefighters, now about 15% contained. 2 task forces consisting of firefighters and engines from Lane and Lincoln counties also adding their support to the suppression effort. Let's take a look now at what we can expect on the weather scene for this weekend. In Northern California and Wairika, partly cloudy and 91. Low 90s, I should say, for the next couple of days, dipping down into the 80s on Monday and a chance of rain Tuesday. With the Klamath Basin, low 80s through Monday, actually, with 83 expected today, down to 75 on Tuesday. As we head along the Oregon coast, 71 today and tomorrow. Slight chance of rain starting tomorrow. Highs only getting up to 67 on Monday. As we look into the central Oregon area bend, partly cloudy and mostly sunny. 83 today, 83 tomorrow, 81 with a slight chance of rain starting on Sunday. The Oregon coastal area, 71 today and tomorrow, 67 on Monday, as I mentioned. And for southern Oregon, we can expect 91 today, 90 on Saturday, 89 on Sunday, and 80 on Tuesday. And that's news and weather right here on the Dove.